get in these MD-80 flight simulators, which are used by Delta. And there was a trip on to take my home. Man, it's the whole cockpit. I mean, like it really is. Wow. Not that I knew what I was doing. I'm just pushing buttons.
You were very convincing in this, and particularly in his self-confidence of this guy. Nobody could land this plane.
Well, I think that's part of his disease, that, I think he was obviously a very confident young pilot, but I think it turned it ugly that, in that no one could tell him anything. The fact of the matter is he didn't land the plane, and talking to pilots about it and the research that we did, and I think it's even stated in the movie, it's almost impossible to do.
Has it been done before? Lying it upside down and then?
No, I don't know if they flipped it over for that second like that. Planes,
That must have been fun to play a pilot in that kind of situation.
Yeah, man, I had a great job. I drive trains. Planes. Next. Kids call the white man the devil. My wife's funny. She's always like, "Who's coming home now?" Who's coming home? So one year I was doing a cycling movie, Know That Blues.
Yes.
And I, thank you. And, I thought I could play trumpet. She didn't know anyone else in the neighborhood. But you have fun with it.
Yeah. This role, where does it stand for you in the pantheon of all these incredible characters you have played and all of these movies you've done? Where does
my favorite role is my next one. I don't look back. I don't really watch it. I watch it, so I'm going to talk about we're going to be doing the press and stuff. I enjoy the process. I enjoy that's why I'm not crazy when someone says, "Oh, I wrote this just for you," or I'm like, that doesn't interest me too much. I want to open the script and be surprised and amazed and say, "Oh, this is a journey that I'd like to go on."
this one?
$1 million budget. And I bet you on Castaway, just the crash scene was probably $40 or $50 million. We had $28 million to make the whole movie. And, Bob's a master. I mean, I knew what was coming and I was scared of it. There's just something about it. He can create that tension.
And that's interesting. You mentioned Castaway, because in Castaway, the plane that crashed, there's a FedEx. And FedEx is a brand name. Here, I don't think any airline would ever allow you to put the name on, right?
We did our training at Delta, right? But they were like, no, nothing like that. I'm here. But one of the other guys and senior advisor said, "Look, we got in place." Said, we want to keep our pilots. We want to protect our pilots. And if they have issues or we begin to see any signs of problems, then they put them in the program before they're out. But they will try their best to take care of them and put them in their own programs and, get them back up there. And Uncle Lige, Lige, L-I-G-E. And I remember as a kid, like at house parties or something, Christmas or whatever, he would drink Beefeaters, gin. And you could not catch him actually drinking, but the bottle was going down. He was a sipper, maybe he didn't want to sip around the kids when we were running around. I remember that. I was like, I've never seen him take the drink, but the bottle was going down. growing up in New York, in the late 60s, I've seen every kind of addiction. You know, I've lost many friends to heroin addiction, and not so much drinking, but there was, you know, there was sometimes even that guy that you would make fun of, but really, when you look back on it, or think back on it, he was a wreck. A guy who just drank all the time. So I think we all have, you know, a story to tell something.
And do you use any of that?
And you try to use your own experiences. I mean, we all been drunk. Awesome. You know, yeah. But what I made conscious decision. In fact, I'm drunk now. Like waking up, not knowing where you were. I mean, that's happened to me in my adult life or my younger life, and you're like, where am I? You know, like opening one eye, it's like, I don't recognize me. You know, so you draw on those things and you listen. And unfortunately, it's weird. You can YouTube drunks. Yeah, YouTube drunks or alcoholics. And you'll see one guy who for 5 minutes tries to put his shoe on. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
This guy is like, he's like. In the movie because he kept missing and he finally fell out and he crossed his arms like somebody walked by and he was like, oh, you got to go on the movie. And then somebody walks by and he kicks his shoe closer to him because he's further away from him. So I actually use that scene, I use that idea in the scene when I'm watching my children, my son and father on television, and she comes in and that's when I'm really toasted. And he takes the bottle and it takes me 5 minutes, it seems like, to get it on the table, and he puts it on the table, finally gets it there, and he's like, so I use that right from that YouTube because nobody wants to admit, you know, they're drunk. You know, I guess you go through programs and you have to admit or you learn to admit. But the average guy, you know, woman, you know, couple, it's at work. Yeah. How many days a week you work? 6 days. 6 days a week. How many weeks a month? 4. You start adding it up. You know. Yeah.
That's pretty wild that YouTube is becoming a vehicle for actors. You know?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, it was that or stand out on the street. You know, you know, being sort of popular is very difficult sometimes for me to observe. You're an actor, you all know that's the number one. I mean, I love to observe, but sometimes you end up being the one that's being watched, you know, so I'll get in the car and I would do that, you know, I would like 42nd Street somewhere, just crunch down. I would, just watch, because there's different kinds of drunks. There's angry drunks. You know, some people are angry drunks, some people are loving drunks. They become, oh, I just want to, you know. So I guess it's I was in the moment, or I really was right there. I said, well, they were terrible, because if you're out of there, what you're doing, then you're not doing anything but watching yourself. You know, so especially in film, and stage too, you know, just let the work be. You know, the great thing about stage is you get another night. You know, you get another night. And as you all know about the years, on stage, you think you got it, like you think you got that joke lined up, you got it. You got boom, and then roar comes. And it's Wednesday, and then boom, roar comes. You do it on Thursday. And you know, the last part of what we do is the audience. You know, that's the last part of the screenplay. That's the last part of the play. That's what counts. The interaction. You know, you don't know what you're gonna get. I did a play on Broadway years ago, and years before.
Fences was the most recent.
Yeah, Fences was the most recent. In fact, we're going to talk with Kenny Leon. We're going to do something else, probably, or maybe August Wilson's in the next couple of years. We go back to 2014. But this scene wasn't a great play. But it was a scene where I'm having this argument with my wife the whole time. We're fighting. And there's a scene when she says something, and I slap her, and she pulls a gun on me. You know, we started turning it into a little bit of a bit. You know, I say what I slap her, she pull a gun, and I go like that, and get a laugh sometimes. But one night, I did it, slap her, she pulled a gun, and you heard a woman say, "Shoot her, shoot her." Now she was not joking, because at that moment of the play, it was dead quiet, because you didn't know if the woman was going to shoot me or not. You know, I slap her, she pulls a gun, I stick my hands up, shoot that woman. I had to turn up skates. My shoulders were just wow. Sit down and see what she's been through.
Yes.
I think that, well, if it was written that he got away with it, I would have had him rewrite it. Yeah, you gotta pay. You know, you have to pay it to do that. I remember at the training day, and they had the scene in the end. You found out he died like on television, like on the news. There was no cops. I said, wait a minute. In order for me to justify living in the worst way, I have to die in the worst way. I said, he has to die. He has to suffer. I want him to crawl on the ground. I want everybody to beat him, stomp him, shoot him. Then I could justify being as foul as I wanted to be. So, you know.